Interview right now with Hasan Oseni, professional kickboxer and Muay Thai fighter based out of Ontario, Canada. And he just won 2 days ago the first live event on UFC Fight Pass for the promotion Lion Fight. And he just knocked out his opponent. I think his name was Trammell. I can't remember his whole name.
Chris Trammell, yeah.
Chris Trammell in the first round.
And he tends to be very aggressive, right? So I already knew like with my style and his style, it was going to be like a good fight for me. Like I needed, like, I wanted a challenge, right? But I already knew like the way I've trained and my training background, I'm more of a counter puncher, right? So I always wait for my opponents to react and I'll counter back. So I knew like he made the bell went and he kicked me with the first leg kick and I responded immediately. I knew like, okay, in my mind, I was like, his punches are not that fast, right? Because I'm faster in countering. So I knew like he was going to always throw that left hook, and it's something we've been training at the gym, right? So when he threw that left hook, I knew he wasn't going to move his head, and he left his chin exposed. So that's when I caught him with the left hook, with the right hook, I mean, yeah.
Nice.
So it was just timing, you know. I just timed it. I waited for him. I didn't want to rush because, you know, what people don't know, in Wyoming the altitude is it's high, right? So my plan was just to go there and, you know, like with my team, the game plan with the game plan we had was just pick your shots. No need to rush. Just pace yourself and pick your shots. So that's what I did.
You have a superior belief in yourself, I can tell, just the way you're walking to the ring.
Yeah, you know, like in this sport, you know, like it's like any sport you play or anything you want to do in life, you always have to have that confidence in yourself, right? It's like I trust my skill level, and again, like you're going in there and you just it's like a job. You're going there to do what you love, right? The hardest part is not the fight. The hardest part is training. And what people don't understand is I was supposed to fight for the title, right? But I didn't make weight because I took this fight short notice, like 5 weeks. And when I took the fight, I was 250 pounds. So I had to go down to about 190 pounds. So what people didn't really understand was just the night before the fight, I was actually puking blood because I had a very, very bad weight cut. I was trying to lose like 8 more pounds in 2 hours before the weigh-in, and trust me, I thought I was going to go to the emergency room, and at night I was, you know, trying to recover, and I started puking blood because I thought my organs were failing. So a lot of people didn't know that, but you know, like I had to rehydrate back. I was taking a lot of electrolytes, drinking a lot of water, and got my strength back. And like around like 10 p.m. that night or 11 p.m., I went down to the gym with my trainer, and we started hitting pads again, just to see if I could get back just to make sure I had back my strength. And I didn't want to have any excuse, you know. Like, I'm not saying like I always make weight, but, you know, coming down 5 weeks, 250 pounds to 190, like, it's not an excuse, you know. Like, I'm very professional when I go to fights, but taking, like, I was telling the promoter, you know, I took the fight 5 weeks, making the weight, you know, like 192, you know, like, to me, it's not even about the belt, man. I want to fight someone. My next goal is to fight somebody like a very, very elite world champion and win, you know, and that's the next goal for me.
Man, how did you come up with the name Sino Changes in terms of for your Instagram identification? What motivated that?
I wanted to know that too.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like I grew up in Africa, Nigeria, right? West Africa, Nigeria.
Nice.
And
okay.
And in high school, people look at me, they say that I had an innocent face, you know. And in high school, I was a very notorious, not like bad, but I was very like stubborn. I was notorious in class, always making noise, getting in trouble. So my teachers were like, you know what, Hassan, you're a Sino Changes. Like, you're one way, but the other way, you're a bad kid, you know? So everyone's then calling me Sino Changes in school. So I was like, you know what, Sino Changes. So why I call myself Sino Changes on Instagram is like, outside the ring, I'm a nice, calm person. But when it comes to fight time, I'm a beast, man. I'm an animal. So that's why I call it Sino Changes. Yeah.
Okay, understandable. That makes sense. Good story. How long have you been training martial arts? And what made you want to start training martial arts?
Oh man, I got into boxing at the age of like 17. No, at the age of 16, 17.
Okay.
I did it just because I didn't actually do it because I wanted to be a boxer. I did it more because of you know, like growing up in high school, you know, you get back home where I come from in Nigeria, you know, like we had a lot of seniors, like there was a lot of like bullying and things like that. But it was not like it was bad bullying or anything. It was like the tradition in the school, right? And it was just like all boys had to know how to fight back home and all that. So I got into boxing a little bit, you know, like I was putting boxing a little bit, but I didn't get into I got in for discipline, right? But I was never really interested in boxing. I was more into like rugby and basketball. That's why my interest was. So when I was going to university at the age of 18, I moved to Toronto, Canada, right? Then I met a friend in the gym, and I saw him like he was like shadow boxing and all that. I was like, oh, you know, I did boxing a while, you know, back, but I didn't, you know, I haven't done it in a while. He's like, oh, follow me to the gym. So I go to this gym called Siam One, and that's where I met Simon Marcos, who's like a world champion, you know, like 2-time Glory world champion, 7-time Muay Thai world champion, and you know, like I just turned 18, and Simon was coming big then, you know, and I started looking up to him. Yeah, Simon Marcos. Yeah, and he just won the Lion Fight world title then, right? The promotion I fought on then, and then I wasn't like I didn't even really know much about Muay Thai, and I was like, it was all about boxing. So I started training, and I kind of stopped a little while because I was in school. I was focusing more on school. So when I finished school at the age of 20, 21, I started fighting again, like amateur and all that, until like maybe 4 years on. Like when I was like 25, I decided to go to Holland and I turned pro. So that was like how I got into martial arts. Yeah.
Nice. So you started with the boxing, and then you started training Muay Thai. And would you say that Muay Thai it's like your base?
My strongest, I won't say it's Muay Thai. My strongest, like if you watch my fights, I'm more of a hand guy. I'm more of a boxer. Okay.
Nice.
You know, my background is boxing, you know. So like I think I always fell into that. Like even when you watch my fights, I move my head. I'm more of a counter puncher. So my Muay Thai is just it added to my game. It added to my strength. Like learning how to take the kicks, throwing the elbows. But I'll say boxing is more of my base, right? Like using my hands is more. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And so the line fight match you won by knockout first round the other night on Friday, was that full Muay Thai rules or modified Muay Thai rules?
That was full Muay Thai rules. Muay Thai rules.
Elbows too, everything, right?
Yeah, elbows, everything. But the thing is, because like I trained a lot with like Simon Marcos, and I trained a lot with a lot of Muay Thai fighters. A lot of them tell me, oh, you know, you like the Dutch style is more boxing, heavy hand based with low kicks. They tell me, oh, like I won the WBC. I'm the current WBC Canadian champion, right? I have the belt. And I remember when I was going there, a lot of like, you know, there's always this talk about Muay Thai and Dutch style kickboxing. There's always this kind of rivalry, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, you know, your Dutch style is not going to work in Muay Thai because you can get elbowed and this. I'm like, yeah, it's true, no lie, but you know, I train one of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world, and Simon. I know how to transition from that. So even though with my high guard, if you watch my fight, even though I have my high guard up, I'm always cautious about when the elbow coming. That's why I'm a counter fighter, right? I counter because I see that elbow strike coming in, I use my movements, you know, to counter from the elbow. So yeah.
Again, Simon Marcus, his training partner or coach in Canada. Was that in Canada where you met Simon?
Yeah, Canada. Simon lives in Canada, right? Lives in Toronto. So yeah. Yeah,
Glory kickboxing veteran, one of the best in the world. You're so lucky to start with somebody like that in Canada. You're very lucky to.
Yeah, like even I used him even before this fight, like I was sparring with him a lot, right? So because like he's like a big brother to me. Like we hang out, we train together. Like he's the guy I looked up to when I was coming up, right? When I first started at 18. And I'm still with him now. Like even when he gets ready for fights, we spar together. So you know, when you train with a guy like that, I'm not putting anyone down, but when you train with a guy like Simon, you know, you're ready for anything and for anyone, right? Because sparring him is like, man, the punches are hard, his kicks are hard, his knees. So it's like when you're going to fight another guy, yeah, like, man, I've trained the best. I've trained the best guys in the world who have tried to take my head, right? So,
Okay.
so yeah.
Also, you talked about Hassan. You talked about going to Holland and starting to train there when you're 25 years old. For people who know or don't know, Holland in the Netherlands is considered the mecca of kickboxing besides Thailand. And even though Holland is more known as for a kickboxing style as opposed to Muay Thai in Thailand, which is knees, elbows, and they have the clinch.
Yeah.
Holland is the mecca of the best, most elite kickboxers in the world. That's what it has the reputation for. What motivated you, or what drove you to make that sacrifice and those goals to go to Holland and actually train with the best of the best? That's like a martial arts movie. Josh Johnson did a similar thing when he was young.
Yeah, I know. Like Josh Johnson too. Like it's just like this, right? Like in it's like in North America, like especially like in Canada, Muay Thai is it's big, right? A lot of people embrace Muay Thai. They embrace the culture. Like when you watch the fights, they wear the Mongol, they do the Thai dance and everything, right? Like I respect the Muay Thai culture, but I tell people I'm not really a Thai fighter. I don't, even when I go for Thai fights, I don't know where the Mongol and all that, right? Because I believe like the Thais have their own way of training. And once anyone who gets into Muay Thai, the first place they go to is Thailand, right? And I see a lot of guys when I was like coming up as an amateur, I saw a lot of guys who went to Thailand, right? And they trained with I see them train with all these Thai guys and everything. And they come, you in your mind you're like, I'm gonna get knowledge from this guy and everything. And you spar them, and it's like, okay, you're kind of the same. The only good thing about you is your clinch, right? So. Number one, the Muay Thai style wasn't really my base. I liked it, but it wasn't all that. I liked moving. I liked watching guys like, one of the best guys I used to watch then was Badahari, right? And I was like, man, this guy, Mike's Gym. And I was watching documentaries on YouTube, and Josh Jonesy was talking about the dot style then. And one day I was just like, I made up my mind. I was like, I want to go pro. It was just I was like, I want to be a pro fighter. And for me to test myself, to know if I'm ready for the next step, was to go to Mike's Gym. Because I know once you step your foot in there, they're not going to take it easy on you. Oh, it's actually if you want it. So I went to Mike's Gym. I contacted Mike. I tried contacting him for like a year. I couldn't get him, right? So finally one day I was like, I'm just going to try the number. And I tried the number, and the number went through. And I was like, my name's Hassan. I'm from Canada, and I'm really trying to come to Holland to train in Mike's Gym. I'm like, I train with Simon Marcus and all this. He's like, okay, no problem. This. We got in contact. He's like, when do you want to come? And I told him. So I flew out there to Holland. And I remember the first day I went to the gym, I saw Big Mike. And he's like, you train with Simon? I was like, yes. He's like, then you can fight. I'm like, yes, I can fight. He's like, okay, come tonight. He's like, because I was living in the fighter's house. He's like, come tonight. Damn. So I was like, all right, fine. I come back in the night. We did the dodge drills. There was no pads because in Holland, they like in my gym, they don't do pads. Everything is like hard hitting to the body, like drills, right? But like hard drills. I remember just the drills, my hands were dying and my legs were dying. And after the whole drill class, they were like sparring for 4 rounds, I remember. And man, after sparring, I was limping home, and in my head, I was like, I don't think this fighting is for me. because I just met a whole different kind of level of fighting there. It was different from Muay Thai. It was different from how we trained here in Canada. In my mind, I was like, man, I was bleeding, like my leg was purple. Like I was like, man, I was in my room. I was like, man, I'm supposed to be here for like 2 months, man. Like I already paid money and all that. I don't know what I'm going to do. But like after the first week, I just kind of like, I told myself, I was like, I really want to do this because, they say if you want to be a lion or you want to be a world champion, if you want to be a beast, you have to train with people who are like a beast. If you want to be a world champion, you have to surround yourself with world champions, right? And I remember I was in the gym, I was seeing all these like Badahari, all these great names and how they were training. They were never backing down in sparring. Then after 2 weeks, I earned my respect there, from sparring, training, always pushing. And, that's how I got the confidence to become a pro fighter and ready to face anyone. And from there, after Mike's Gym, I went to Haman's Gym. That's Raymond Decker's dad's gym, stepdad's gym and brother's gym, right? And I got a lot of knowledge just training with those guys and just the style, just the sparring. It's just the atmosphere was different compared to when I trained in Canada, right? Because the atmosphere there was everyone wants to make a name for themselves in terms of fighting the best fighter, right? It's not like in Canada when some people see like maybe Simon comes to a gym, everyone is like, oh my God, it's Simon Marcus. You know, they're excited, they want an autograph. In Holland, when they see a guy who is a world champion, their mind is, I want to spar that guy and see how good he is because I'm going to fight that guy in future. So that's the mindset they had, right? And that's the mindset I kind of got because whenever I see a fighter who is good, yeah, I'm happy I saw him, but my mindset is, you know, I want to dethrone that guy. I want to fight that guy and beat him. That's the mindset that Holland taught me, you know? Just believing in yourself and your skill level.
So what you're saying is the pro kickboxers in Holland that are doing it for a career and they're serious, they're about that life.
Yeah, exactly, they're about that life. Because it's not, it's like, exactly, they're about that life. And it's like, it's like, you know what, success and I want to be successful in life is contagious. Because now it's contagious in a way they transfer that mindset to the kids there, to the upcoming amateurs. So you see like a young kid, yeah, they like good fighters. Like you say, maybe a celebrity, yeah, you know, this guy is good. But the mindset is, they will shake you and say, you know, you're good. But the mindset to them is, you're the guy I want to dethrone. I want to fight to get to that top. So the mindset is different from how guys used to train here in Canada. You know, so that's why I was happy I got that mindset. Because ever since I went to Holland, I remember I was messaging Glory, I messaged Lion Fights and all these big promotions to try and get on their show. And, you know, like Lion Fights was a fight. And when I first started, Simon just won the belt. And I was like, yo, one day I want to fight there. And you know, you just got to keep pushing and just believe in your skill set and showing people who will take you to the next step. That's the mentality I had when I went to Holland.
In terms of your confidence, Hassan, where would you say that you got your confidence from? Is your confidence something that you had that someone instilled in you, a relative, you know, your circle of support? Or would you say that the confidence is something that you developed through your martial arts training?
Oh man, my confidence came from the society I grew up in Nigeria, Africa. Okay. You know, you know, because like the confidence came in a way like I'm not an arrogant person. I don't talk bad about any fighter, but the confidence comes in like I grew up in a continent like where a lot of people wish they had the opportunity I had, right? A lot of people don't have the life and, you know, like, or had like the upbringing I had in terms of their family could give them stuff, you know, like I know people who are way better than me in terms of fighting, but in my country, but they don't have that opportunity and they don't have that privilege to showcase their skill level, right? So the confidence comes from my background, my upbringing, you know, like it's a blessing to be where I am. It's a blessing to do what I do because not everyone has that. And actually working hard and doing good it's in a way of me honoring people that are looking up to me and saying, you know, nice, you have this opportunity, so use it. So that's where the confidence comes from.
You spoke of Sino Marcos in terms of how you were excited to train with him.
Yeah.
And how good that experience has been and continues to be. Do you have people outside of martial arts or outside of Muay Thai or outside of boxing that have inspired you, a brother, a cousin, an aunt, grandmother, somebody in that regard?
Oh man, a lot of people inspire me. A lot of people, you know, like my dad inspires me, you know, as long as you're doing anything good in life, you know, even when I look at like, you know, you watch the TV and you see like a doctor, a nurse, or you see little kids who have gone through stuff in life, those people inspire me, you know, like, and just like the support I get from people doing what I do is what even motivates me more because I've gotten messages from kids from Iran who are like into Muay Thai and say, you know what, yo, you inspire me a lot. But at the end of the day, they're the ones inspire me because for them to reach out to me is what's giving me the confidence and the ability to do what I want to do, right? So that's the inspiration is, you know, sometimes people don't understand, even when you're doing something and you're really good and you inspire other people, but the inspiration you're giving other people, you're getting it back from them too, right? Because like I said, it's contagious, right? Success is contagious. So you inspire people, but they also inspire you too.
You ain't got a lot of humility going on, man. That's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, thanks.
Solid humility, solid foundation, you're welcome. You know, to be a talented fighter and to have that humility, it's a good combination, man, you know?
Thanks,
you're welcome. You know, you like to see people do good, you know, that you enjoy, fighters that you admire do good, but it's something about when you see people in anything, actually, they have humility and they have talent. It makes an even better combination.
Yeah,
So, like, good for you.
yeah.
Just, you know.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. You're welcome.
There's a saying that goes, the most dangerous combatants, pro fighters, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, the most dangerous and the best of the best, and the most dangerous ones are usually the most humblest and kindest outside the ring. It's
Nice.
a known,
Wow. Okay.
kind of a known fact amongst fighters. You know, the best of the best, like George St. Pierre, you know, Anderson Silva, all those guys. Josh Johnsey, you know, I got the opportunity to train with Josh Johnsey for a week. Number one fighter.
Really good. He's a really talented fighter, man. Yeah, and nice guy.
Absolutely, and vicious, man. And he was being easy on me, and he's vicious.
Yeah.
Mike Passenger's gym, Mike's gym that Hassan was referring to earlier. So that's this famous kickboxing gym in Holland. There's a bunch of famous kickboxing gyms in Holland, but this one in particular, it reminds me of the old Emmanuel Stewart Kronk gym reputation back in the days in boxing. That was known as a savage gym where, you know, the savages train underneath the ground in like a basement, and it's scorching hot. And Emmanuel Stewart would train some of the toughest and nastiest fighters in the world there in boxing back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And Mike's Passenger Gym has a reputation of just being the gym of killers. Like, he trains killers, and he has a crew of killers there. So that's what Hassan walked in, willingly took himself to when he was 25 to go train there. So that place is known having the best fight. Some of the best kickboxers that ever in history came out of there, like Gokhan Saki, Murrell Gronhardt. I mean, there's so
many,
Melvin Manoff, and yourself now, Hassan. Could you talk just a little bit about Mike Passenger? He's kind of not a lot of people know about him or know him. He's quiet. He says,
Mike, he looks scary.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mike is the friendliest guy you ever meet. He's very friendly. He cares about people. He's easy to talk to. Like, you know, even when you send him a message on WhatsApp, he replies you very fast. The only thing Mike expects from people is this: he doesn't like lazy people. He likes people who are there to fight because it's a passion, right? He's like, I remember when I was training there, I was sparring with Yusuf Bagari, and he kind of broke my nose a little bit. My nose was kind of twisted a bit, and you know, Mike was really concerned, and he put my nose back. You know, like, even when I told him I had a cold, he would like he would get like medication for you. Mike is just, I don't know, you know, he looks scary. He loves what he does, but he's a very down-to-earth person. He's a guy who cares about his fighters. You know, like, he's a very loving guy. Like, once you're in his good books, and he always sees good in everyone and in every fighter. As long as you step into his gym and you want to train, whether you're not that good, he sees the good in you. I remember one time I was sparring, and this kid actually hit me hard, and I went down. And Mike just looked at me and he's like, "Stand up and fight."
Damn.
Right? And it's not like in North America where you're sparring the gym and going hard. The coaches are like, "Listen, no, you have to go easy." In Mike's gym, once you step in there, that means you're willing to fight. He's not going to tell anyone to go easy. If you want someone to go easy, during sparring, take a knee and they'll leave you alone. That means you're not ready to fight. But I remember I was down. This kid hit me with a hard body shot, and I went down. And he's like, "You have to stand up and keep fighting. It's not you. It's you fighting, because at the end of the day, it's you in the ring." Right? So your safety is, it's better you feel the hurt in training than feeling it in the ring. The ring the training is the hardest part. The fighting should be the fun part. But Mike is a very humble and down to earth coach. You know, to me, he's one of the best coaches in the world. I don't care what anyone says. He's the best. He's a legend in kickboxing.
What is your primary aspiration or your heart's desire when it comes to fighting? And what is a primary aspiration outside of the ring, outside of fighting?
Oh man, when it comes to fighting, my is to leave a legacy. You know, I think that's every fighter's dream, is to have that legacy. You know, and to me, the legacy is to impact my continent, Nigeria, you know, and Africa, in terms of, like, you know, like, to me, I represent Canada, but I like to put my home country and my continent on the map, because Africa is a beautiful place that has a lot of talents. I look at, in boxing, look at Anthony Joshua doing good right now. look at Israel Adesanya doing good right now, and Usman. You know, they all, and I forgot his name, the heavyweight boxer from Cameroon. We have Cedric Doumbé from Cameroon, but who lives in France.
Usman?
Cameroon. Yeah, no, there's Usman is from Nigeria. We have Cedric Doumbé from Cameroon. Oh, and Ungalu, who is the heavyweight in UFC too. So my aspiration is to inspire kids in Africa that not just in Africa, but even here in Canada, is to inspire people that say, like, you know what? At the end of the day, you have to follow your dream and believe in yourself. I believe martial arts and fighting is all about, because trust me, we're all fighters in life. You don't have to be a fighter. We're all fighters, because you have people who are fighting depression. You have people who are fighting, you know, to do good in their business. So everyone in life is a fighter. But it's just that you just have to tell people that, you know, it's never easy. It's never going to be easy. Even when you take a punch and it looks like it doesn't hurt, it hurts. But you just have to keep going, right? And outside the ring, you know, like my future goal outside the ring is I'm trying to go into law enforcement, be a police officer. So, you know, like that's my goal. But in terms of being a police officer, is also to help the community too, right? Like in terms of being that good role model and using my skill sets in performing my duties. So that's the goal.
Who's your favorite fighter, old school fighter, if you have one?
In boxing or kickboxing?
Kickboxing.
In kickboxing, man, it has to be Badr Hari, man. Badr Hari is my man. Badr Hari and Ramon Decker, those two, yeah. But in terms of my very favorite, it's Badr Hari.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. That's a lot of people's favorite fighter. How about new school? Like right now, could be Glory, could be anything. Who's your favorite fighter right now? Kickboxer.
In kickboxing new school,
if you have one.
I have
besides yourself.
I'll say Tyrone Spong.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite. I watch all his videos on YouTube.
He's coming back. He's thinking of coming back into kickboxing. So I'll say right now, Tyrone Spong.
Do you have a favorite kickboxing technique? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, my favorite kickboxing technique will be the overhand left hook low kick.
Me too.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. The overhand left hook low kick is just the best. Then go to the body after that.
Do you have a favorite martial arts movie or a favorite boxing movie? Anything that comes to your mind that's one of your faves?
Rocky. Yeah, Rocky.
Classic.
Yeah, it's classic, you know, Rocky.
Yeah.
Me and my son watched that
definitely.
That's a good one. Me and my son watched that one like hundreds of times. Never gets old.
I still watch Rocky. I always listen to the music and all that. It's the best.
Yeah. What do you do for fun outside of fighting?
Or outside of fighting?
To entertain yourself.
Honestly, just hang out with my very family, my cousins, very good friends. I like to read books, but I like to read specific books like biographies. You know, just live a easy, enjoyable life. You know, just hang out with family mostly. Because you know, when you're a fighter, you really want to spend quality time with people who encourage you and just put that. You know, you don't want to always think about fighting. You want people who will bring entertainment to your life, but good kind of entertainment, right? So yeah.
I want to give a shout out to your parents and whoever was involved in raising you. Such a gentleman, a humble guy.
Thank you.
Gotta give them a shout out, man, because you're a great role model. And I don't know you a short time, but you seem like a really great person. And
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing your career and your successes, man.
Man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.